I think too, understanding and I think this is where a higher level of emotional intelligence and empathy comes in and the resistance and change and just be like, hey, I get it. Right. And just, it's tough. You're navigating a lot of things, find that not necessarily not going to look for common ground, but just be like, hey, listen, right. Like this is the change. This is where we're at on it. Where are you guys at on it? And then what do we need to do to just keep moving forward and get the deal done? Because I think at the end of the day, the whole objective is that they want to get paid. We want to get paid. The deal wants to get done. We just figure out a way to get it done.
And I think it's like being patient too. We're all like, oh, Leo is, he's just trying to do the best he can. Like he said, hey, we might have to change. I mean, I love that he's very humble to say, we're doing it this way because of how we're reading this and to protect, our agents and the public. But we may change. There may be different iterations of this. And so I think it's being calm. I can't believe how much hate I got on, if you guys go read some of the social media, like the posts that come in, people are so hateful. And it's just so interesting to me how aggressive real estate agents are. It's like, okay, everybody calm down. Why are we being so aggressive? Just because people don't see it your way. And you look at it in government, it's like the world is divided. No one can understand everyone else's opinion. So I think patience, understanding, ego, take that ego out of it. And nobody freaking knows the exact answer. So let's all just do the best we can.
Jay, remember what Tyson used to say? Everybody's tough until you get punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. That's why I love Leo's perspective on, hey, this is what we think right now, and that could change. And it most likely will. At least we're doing something. The thing that that's most amazing to me is to see how many people's heads are just in the sand right now. And they're not doing anything to change. And so it's certainly going to be interesting.
Well,
I have one last question for you, Tina. What would
you was talking about?
I had somebody send me a text yesterday, just trying to get a gauge, gun to head. What do you think? Say a year from now, do you think commissions will be up or down? If down, how much on the buy side? Any impact on the listing side? Any impact on the overall population of agents?
So I think we're going to lose 1 million agents is my guess in the next 24 months. That's my guess, because I think you're going to see the part-timers, they're not going to be good enough to actually go and ask for their value, because they're just going to give it away. They give it away now. They give half backs and all that. So if they're not getting it from the seller, there's going to be nowhere to give back. So I think we'll lose agents. I actually think for the top 20%, which has always been true, they're probably going to get a raise. I think listing agents are going to get a raise. And I think buyer agents are going to get a raise, because for the longest time, the good buyer agents already make more. They're already out there. It's proven. I think it's going to be a huge opportunity for good agents. I do also think that, overall, though, you might see a drop a little bit in buyer agent commissions. You might see a little bit of a drop, and you might see a little bit of a drop in seller commissions. But I don't think the seller commissions are going to go down. I think those are actually going to go up.
I think they're going to go up as well. I think the listing side is going to go up, because I think that's your strongest, the strongest skilled agents in the industry. And I think the buy side is likely to go down, just because there's so many people that are not going to be able to negotiate on there, and those are still the ones that are at risk of becoming irrelevant and getting out of the business.
Yeah. But for the good agents, they'll go up. I mean, people were like, oh my God, you guys are going to be like travel agents. I'm like, you know what? Travel agents right now, they're killing it. They are killing it. The best of the best survive. These people are crushing it because they're not obsolete. So the majority went away, but we will still be at play. Like we're not losing the industry.
Tina, I'm going to disagree a little bit with the number of agents who are going to be dropped. I don't think that it's going to be 1 million. Here's why.
I was hoping.
We don't. Yeah, but I don't know, because think about it. Like what I would rather happen, and what I think is this. I think you're right. There's going to be an exodus, but think about it like this: the turnover between. Let's forget about the Burnett case. Mm-hmm. Just the natural turnover and cyclical business, nature of our business, of agents that are just exiting anyway. Mm-hmm. New ones coming in. The newbies aren't going to know the difference. They're not they have nothing to unlearn. They're going to learn this, and this is going to be their normal.
That's true.
Normal. Yep. We're going to have an influx. And guess what? The next Tina Caul, the next John Kinder, the next Jay Kinder, the next John Kitchens is coming. They're in school right now. Mm-hmm. And our next group of leaders is coming, and they're going to have to learn this because this is just the new norm.
Yeah.
And so I think that the level of professionalism that is going to go up. I think that it's also, when you talk about, are they going to make more money or less money? I agree with you guys. I interviewed an agent, or didn't interview. I had a conversation with one of our top agents here in Cleveland yesterday. He got a listing, had 5 offers. And he did the math on what the 3 that the seller were considering, what they were asking to be paid by the seller toward the buyer's agent commission. It was all a little more than what the average was that he saw in the MLS. So you're all right. The question is, how long is it going to take for people to learn it? What's the learning curve?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe we do lose $1 million at first, but they're going to have to come back because if we cut the number of agents in half, we are not the supply and demand. We don't drive how many homes are going to sell. We don't drive how many buyers are going to want homes. That's just economics. And that's going to happen with or without us. We don't control demand.
Yeah.
Maybe you disagree. Do you think we control demand of housing?
Well, I don't think so. But I also think too, like on that point, we were an industry where people saw shiny cars, like we're all millionaires. And that's not true either. The average agent, when I put posts out there, the average agent sells 2.5 homes a year. That's $14,000 in a market where they're making $7,000. That's why I think $900,000 should go get a job. 900,000 agents should go get a job. They shouldn't have this job. They're just part-time hobbyists. So we have a lot of hobbyists in the business. Those hobbyists should go away because maybe, that extra 14 to 20 grand for them is a vacation. They do it for fun. But I don't think they're going to see this industry as like, oh my God, it's so easy now. Our paperwork has gone up tenfold. I went from doing not so many things 24 years ago to 152 things just to list a house today. And it's going to also turn into an industry where teamrages are going to rule, brokerages, right? You're not going to see a lot of solo agents. We're the only business where we say, come in to this business, stay solo forever. Good job. You're a solo agent doing the job of 5 people. Like I would never open a Dairy Queen or a restaurant and say, I'm going to be the busboy and the bus girl and the hostess and the cook no, but that's what I'm saying. I think the industry, this paperwork alone is going to put people under. And so I do think that it's going to be a higher level of entrepreneurism that comes in. They have to think scalability and productivity and not go, oh my God, I'm solo. I could work 8 hours a day doing this. No, it's if I hire 2 or 3 people and we each work 8 hours a day, now I got 20, 25 hours in one day. I can grow this thing into a business. So I don't know. I think we're going to see changes, but I hope that we get a mass exodus of the hobbyists, people that really aren't making money.